Record. My name is John, and I press record too fast, and then I record all the crap that James says. Do.
Hello, everybody. This is Games with John and James, and I wanted to surprise James and tell him about a game I've been playing recently, or at least been trying to play.
Oh?
So the running gag, the running truth, that is also a running joke, is the fact that I don't like to play Japanese role-playing games, also known colloquially as JRPGs. I wanted to tell you, and I saved it for the podcast for this very reason. I have downloaded a demo and actually intend to play a Square Enix JRPG.
This is where we pause, ladies and gentlemen. We all have to bow our heads for a moment of silence as John has finally seen the voice of reason to at least play one.
I like the idea. I thought you were honestly going to be like, well, we have to bow our heads in memoriam because John has clearly died and some doppelganger has taken his place.
No. Because you prefaced it with your nice speech of, yeah, this is the running gag, but it's also accurate. Me and JRPGs, we're not fans.
Yeah, we're not fans because they're mostly garbage. Anyway, here's one.
I'm going to beat you with this bottle.
This empty plastic bottle that'll bounce off my head and somehow cave my skull in.
Yeah, see? Kadoink.
I thought you were actually going to throw it. I was like, I got scared. No, but a game is coming out this month, and I've talked about it. I'm sure I've talked about it before, but anybody out there who's, in the know about this stuff, because I'm certain that you are as well, Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins.
Mm-hmm.
A demo came out for that just recently because the release date's coming up very soon.
Next week.
I downloaded the demo. I played the demo. I enjoyed the demo.
How does it feel to effectively be enjoying a recreation of Final Fantasy 1?
I like it because Jack has my heart.
Oh, God.
He is an amazing character, and he's pretty much the character I've been looking for in any RPG I play. Someone who is so quick to seemingly be one-dimensional and just tear monsters apart and interrupt people who want to go on diatribes and monologues and just tell us, hey, look, I'm here to kill chaos. That's all I want to do. Now give me all the means I can to kill chaos. I'm like, thank you. Thank you for Square Enix apparently listened to this podcast and heard me describe my disdain toward RPGs and made a game just for me, or at least put a character like me in it. Dude shows up in a freaking Henley and black jeans and he's like, I'm gonna save the world. I'm like, yes! This is what the isekai genre is, right?
Oh my God. So, on one hand, I'm very happy that he's doing this. On the other hand, he's effectively playing Dark Souls Final Fantasy.
I'm playing Neo Final Fantasy because it's made by Team Ninja. It's sloppier.
Fine.
It's sloppier, okay?
Neo Fantasy.
Neo Fantasy. Nioh, not Neo. New Fantasy. New Fantasy just dropped, boys.
Is it Neo or would it be, since it's an I, would it be Nio?
And it's Japanese. It's Neo. Because the N-I sound phonetically in Japanese is ni.
Ni. We are the knights who say ni.
Yes. Neo.
John has, honestly, he's warmed my heart, ladies and gentlemen. He's warmed it so much.
Dude, you can grab a bomb of classic Final Fantasy enemy and just rip it in half and throw it in the ground.
Yep.
That's awesome. If you can do that to a cactar, you get mad XP and it's awesome.
For all of the people that are like, oh my God, this is bad, or, they're kind of being like, oh, this is just a quick cash grab or whatever. Shut up. Shut up.
Wow.
Shut the fuck up.
Taking a stance.
And actually play it. Because John will even attest to this. So I haven't played, me personally, I haven't played the demo. I'm just waiting for it to come out. I've got a day one buy, pre-order through GameStop, whatever.
How do you have the faith in everything that you buy to do that?
Yeah, so honestly, this is what I do. Every game that comes out, I try to play to completion. If a JRPG
Everyone's favorite phrase, to completion.
Hey-o. So if a JRPG comes out that I'm not a fan of, I will give it, I give every game a minimum of 5 to 10 hour try. Within 5 to 10 hours, you should be out of the prologue, well established through your first arc, maybe even into your second arc. If you are not holding my interest and it literally feels like a struggle, I'm saying I will literally be like, hey, I had a good run. This isn't for me. You just go sit on the shelf for life. Or I use it to trade for other games.
Or I use it as a coaster.
No, I will never do that. Fight you on that. But
or in the case of Switch cartridges, I put them in a bowl with some milk and I eat Switch cereal. It tastes like garbage. Don't lick your cartridges, folks.
So honestly, the game doesn't take itself seriously, and it takes itself seriously at the same time. It's one of those rare I don't give a fuck moments that meets sheer perfection. And I know what I said, and I will stand by it because that will be the only utterance.
We get one. We get one. I don't give a flip.
It's a retelling of a story. Like literally, the story was there. It's just cool. We're gonna redo this. We're gonna blah 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 blase blase Square Enix.
Well, see, what's I'm finding pretty captivating about it is that Jack has given every intention in his dialogue that he does not give a damn. And I find that immediately compelling with a lot of characters, because after playing the demo and beating the first boss of the first level you can play in the demo, there's an entire well, the legends say this, and so I wanted to inhabit the legend so that some warriors could find me, and because chaos is real and all this stuff. And Jack, in his own way, is just like, that's bullcrap. I know he's out there. I'm gonna go kill him. I'm like, see, yes, everything that you have said as a character kind of makes people want to brush you off, but I want to know why he is the way he is, because it's called Stranger of Paradise. Something must have happened. There's mystery there. There's not a bunch of 10 minutes or an hour of front-loaded exposition or a bunch of stuff you don't care about, presenting a world that you haven't had the chance to care about yet. It's, I'm going to go fight the big bad guy. And along the way, everything will be revealed. That's mystery. That's intrigue. That's storytelling. That's what I've wanted this entire time. And if this game delivers on that, I will say it is a good game.
You heard it first here, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to rate an RPG. Are we talking about a future review episode?
If I actually end up buying it and playing it through,
you're gonna buy it.
It depends on how long it is. Because RPGs are freaking long games, man.
They may be long games, but something like this is worth the buy if it's piqued your interest this much just with the demo.
The thing that piqued my interest the most was the job system. The fact that you can be the swordsman, the mage, the thief or whatever, the pugilist. I found out I could be the pugilist, and I could just punch tonberries, and I'm like, yeah! I just blow on my knuckles like ebony, ivory. Let's go to work.
So it honestly is actually...
Actually, my hands are named Really and No Really.
So John, in mentioning this, has actually allowed me to do a perfect segue into our topic for the day. So this is something I've had saved for a while.
But what about our musical interlude?
What I'm about to say is going to lead to that. Rude.
Look, you cannot have a seamless segue. Only I can.
Dick.
It's like wrestlers cutting promos back and forth, waiting for their time to be like, and that's why I'm the best.
What do you think, John?
Oh, God, I'm scared.
It doesn't matter what you think. Can you tell me what wrestler did that? I swear to ever-loving video game gods out there, you don't know, do you?
Hulk Hogan.
Well, we're going to have a sub-podcast. It's going to be the Wrestling Hour with James,
Seriously,
because John is not allowed on it. John will not be allowed on it.
Oh, shut up. I don't care. I don't care if I don't know anything about wrestling. I think wrestling's awesome anyway.
It was The Rock.
You the actor? Face. See, now I can just troll you because I know I can.
So, weird tangent, but he has allowed something that I worked on for a little bit, because when we started the podcast, I had a bunch of ideas. We talked them out. I was like, cool, I'm going to save some of these for a later date. And when we come back, this is something from the vault that is very near and dear to my heart, as it involves my defining console for gaming. So don't touch that dial. I'll be right back, and I'm going to drag him along with me because, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a topic that makes him just be like, ugh.
You said your top favorite console, so I'm like, oh wow, I wonder what PlayStation it's going to be.
Accurate. So we'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Did you just what? Is that from fucking Three Ninjas Kick Back? What is that?
No, that's I forget what the movie is.
Did you just Dookie?
I'll pull it up.
That voice is really hard on my throat.
Yeah, it is.
As I'm sure Hulk Hogan would actually be hard on my throat.
Well, euphemisms that can be taken in many ways. Round one, part John.
I love the idea. It's like, I have the decency to admit I'm a furry. At least I mean you, I mean, fuck, I'm gay. Sorry, Giselle.
So, welcome back, everybody.
You don't know what we're laughing about. Good. Oh, wait, you're editing this. They could tell. Ah, shoot.
I leave it in, ha ha,
Oh,
so
no.
you can laugh at him.
We get one. I told you at the top, we get one.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I said I'm going to be dragging John along is the console that defined me as a gamer and kind of solidified everything for me was the PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about lists.
Shocking.
I know, right? We've talked about lists.
I wonder
here
what
and there.
genre of games did that, too.
I'm going to fight you so much.
Yeah, we already do with words. These are like our long-formed, not rhymey rap battles.
Shut up, Hero Sonic.
That was your phone going off. It's like, John just admitted he's gay on the podcast? Oh my god!
So, this is something that I worked on for a while because, so for this console, before I sold my retro collection, I actually owned every single JRPG released on it, and I wanted to narrow it down to a top 10. So, without further ado, we are actually going to talk about the top 10 PlayStation 1 JRPGs.
You better have brought a goddamn helmet.
John's ready for war.
No, it's just I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there are very opinionated on the games you're going to talk about.
Yeah. Honestly, when we break into the top 3, people might be a little shocked, but we're not going to break that far just yet. So I'm honestly going to dive right in.
Yeah, I'm looking at your list. I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah. So.
No Ogre Battle 64? Wait.
Oh, God, I can't take you anywhere.
No.
Hey, I saw that you had the PlayStation 4. Can I please get Mario for that?
Dude, I just like the idea of us being in suits at, like, I don't know, some type of, like, BAFTA or, like, you know, Game Developers Choice Award thing. And just be like, God, I don't want you to embarrass me while I'm here.
I have a
promise,
feeling,
Jimmy.
I have a feeling if we ever made it to any weird kind of award level for podcasting or gaming, we're just going to troll the audience.
The potties?
Welcome to the potties. Here you get potty. Make sure your show's not crap, or we'll send you in the back
Of the line. Of the bus. Anybody's podcast can be crap.
So I'm going to dive right in.
Even ours.
Yeah, that's fair. I know in your brain this is what you're thinking right now. You're like, I have to talk about this.
No, I mean, I'm trying. What do I even want to say at this point? I just say go for it because I actually want to hear your explanations because some of these games I'm familiar with.
Well, are you familiar with number 10 being Dragon Warrior 7? And if so, tell me what your thoughts are on it, or is this literally the first time you knew this existed on the PlayStation 1?
There's been 7 of them?
I really hate you.
I didn't get too far into the Dragon Warrior franchise. Like, I remember one pretty vividly because, it was on the Nintendo and I played it at like a friend's house and I was like, this makes no sense. What's happening? I'm getting killed by slimes. But I see the appeal and like the legacy of it. Like from 2 through 7, I'm like, I have no idea what's happening. 8, I remember making a big splash on the PS2 and the 3DS somehow.
Yeah, so that was kind of the funny part. Like, so the DS and the 3DS picked up so much of Dragon Quest because on the DS you could get 4, 5, and 6, and then on the 3DS you could get 7, 8, and then also on the DS you had the next original title, 9. And it was really weird. It was like it was like the Dragon Quest Haven console. But so Dragon Quest 7. I say Quest. It was originally released as Dragon Warrior 7. It was the last as the Dragon Warrior before...
Do you know why it was called Dragon Warrior in America?
Hit him with the knowledge, John.
Because Dragon Quest was a trademark that was held by a certain pen and paper tabletop RPG manufacturer, so they had to change it to Dragon Warrior when they localized it for America.
And ladies and gentlemen, he says he doesn't know anything about RPGs.
I know a thing or two about a thing or two. I played at Ultima.
I played the Ultima.
I've rolled a dice.
So, honestly, the reason why this one broke my top 10 is just the sheer amount of gameplay that you get in this game. So, everybody can, even John will attest, like a PlayStation 1 JRPG, between the load times, was a lot of fluff for what you get. I mean, a 200+ hour game is generally, the norm for a PlayStation 1.
I feel like that number of hours should not exist for games.
And then you look at how much time you spent in Overwatch.
Well, like...
I bet how much?
Like over 300.
There you go.
Well, here's the thing. That game's fun. Anyway. I'm just throwing down the gauntlet every time.
This game, so the Dragon Quest story is pretty straightforward. It's, hey, you start as the hero. In the first one, you're just by yourself, or gather your party, kill the slimes, grab the mini medals. If you look at the whole franchise, it is literally cut and dry, and they don't really change too much other than a little bit of the aesthetics.
I remember Dunkey himself saying it in his review of Dragon Quest XI. If you ran like a JRPG algorithm, Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest would be the default product it makes.
Absolutely. And 7, what was really cool about it is, so when you start the game, it's just you on an island. You can open the world map and you just see your island. Nothing else is there. And it's
just
really
like Far Cry 6.
It's really weird because normally, like Chrono Trigger, you were walking around, you can see the entire world. Final Fantasy VII, when you leave Midgard, it's the entire world. Like any other RPG from any other thing, it's generally you get to see everything. Even Lost Sphere, with half the world memory deleted, you still got to see the whole world. So it shakes it up. And what ends up happening is, as the hero, you do a little exploration, you kind of unlock the power to piece together the puzzle of the world. Mm-hmm. So you're actually going from island to island in the past. You're tackling events that have kept them away from the current history to help bring them back.
So it's time travel.
Essentially, yeah. In a very limited format. It's not like you're jumping 65 million years like Chrono Trigger back to Ayla's time.
Mm-hmm. Why would you not want to hang out with Ayla?
Ayla. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm just nodding my head and remembering the freaking, like, gray wolf bikini.
Ayla, take me!
Oh, God, yeah. Okay, look, we've already been out of a furry. I don't know if I want to screw Neanderthals either.
I mean, you're off to a good start there, bud.
Blonde hair, blue-eyed cave woman. Holy dang.
So it was...
If you are an Ayla cosplayer, please reach out on the Twitter. I do not need games with John and James sliding in my DMs. Okay, I'll stop interrupting.
Hi, my name is John, and I have addiction to Ayla, and I'm here at the Ayla fandom to relieve my addiction. Ayla, pick me!
It's like going into it's like going into a methadone clinic. This is just enough to get you by.
Good luck, bye!
We're just going to make sure you have clean needles so you don't hurt yourself.
Oh man, so it's It's an amazingly expansive world.
Addiction's not funny.
Ayo, don't do drugs. Message of the day.
Gamers don't do drugs. Except the fun ones. All right, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
So it was super expansive. It was indeed a game that you would sink over 100 hours in just to complete. And if you look at games nowadays with how fast you can enjoy experiences, that's a lot, saying a lot back in the day, and it was no tall order to complete. Combat was very amazing. The story was beyond engaging because it took a lot of what your norms with the Dragon Quest were. It took the time travel trope and it kind of dumped it on its head with the way you actively got to explore the island, because you, like player agency, you, through player agency, are kind of righting the wrongs of what happened in order to allow things to be normal.
Okay.
So it made my top 10 because that, like, honestly, aside from Disgaea, so my top 3 series are Disgaea, then the Dragon Quest series, and then the Final Fantasy series.
It's pretty good stable.
Yeah, I mean, between the 3 of them, I have enough games for life.
It's like picking the Yankees of JRPG franchises.
Basically. So,
the 3 Yankees. Damn Yankees.
Ayo. So we're gonna move right along. So that was number 10. So
and we don't know when it comes after 10. 11. Wait.
-2 equals.
I'm not good at math.
I put him on the spot. 9. So coming in at 9th spot, it's honestly it takes what we talked about in the last episode about a wonderful adventure, and it delivers it in spades in the form of a JRPG. It's Grandia.
This is a franchise I am not too familiar with, like, at all.
So I challenge you, John. So
great.
Well, Grandia came out on the PlayStation, so if you have the PlayStation Classic, download the emulator, play it. It is literally the pinnacle of adventure games for JRPGs, and it is very rarely replicated with just the scale of the adventure. So JRPG, silent protagonist or annoying protagonist or pessimistic protagonist.
Mostly annoying and pessimistic, which is what Final Fantasy VII is.
I hate you.
Well, I mean, that's Final Fantasy VII Remake, I guess, because Jessie would not stop talking.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That is very fair.
We can't kill Aerith yet, so we'll kill her instead. Spoilers for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh yeah, that game where the one girl had 3 lines and then she just dies.
No!
Whatever.
But, so in Grandia, it opens up.
I hope I'm pissing off a bunch of fanboys right now. I was like, she was a fully realized character.
I mean, we talked about contentious episodes back in season 1. I think you're making contentious points with the JRPG fandom, and I wouldn't be surprised if they find you and they have a come to Jesus meeting with you.
If I look like Jack and I just throw you into the ground into red crystals, don't be surprised, okay?
So the Grandia franchise, the reason why I think this would be right up your alley, John. So the sense of adventure in this game is endless. And the way you acquire skills or strengthen your character is through utilizing the weapon. So the more you use it, the stronger the weapon gets.
Like a job proficiency thing?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. Like the more you do it, the better you get. And it has the way combat is in this game is really ingenious because you have a bar where you're going to see everybody, enemies plus you taking actions. So charging up, here's where the action happens. You can actually, so enemy does their action, you can go time your attack to fully cancel their action and bring it back down. So it's true engagement in combat.
Okay.
Even through turn-based and menus, right?
Yeah, because it's nice that you're breaking down actual mechanics, because there are a lot of people out there even who do enjoy RPG games where it's like mechanically, like, how does this work? Like I referenced the job system, and then you also referenced like the active battle system. So.
Mm-hmm. It was really rewarding because it hadn't been done like that before, and you're literally your character. All he wants to do is just go adventure and go see the world. So instead of playing,
it's Kingdom Hearts.
Without the confusing story, because if you remember
what's
season
so confusing about, and then my head explodes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you remember season 1, when Brandon was a guest on our show, we deep dove Kingdom Hearts hard.
We dream drop distanced all the way into that cluster mess.
Yep. But he literally, all he wants to do is go explore the world and go on an adventure. And instead of approaching it from your stereotypical JRPG way, You're getting to explore it from the sense of adventure.
Mm.
You don't really get that in RPGs. So
Like
just
someone's like willingness to just enjoy the life that they have and go and fight and have fun.
exactly.
So it's lighthearted.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
So I think you would enjoy it. So honestly, like the second one was actually even released on Dreamcast, Grandia 2.
I remember seeing it on the shelves. I'm like, what's this? Next to like Evolution 2. So
it's like, bye, I'm getting Evolution 2.
bye, I'm gonna buy Dynamite Cop.
So if you haven't had a chance to play this in the audience, everyone, it was actually remade for the Switch. It was the Grandia HD remaster where you get both Grandia 1 and 2.
The Switch is like a hotbed for a lot of remakes like that.
I feel like it's just going to keep on going, man. Dragon Quest 3 is being remade in that HD 2.5D remastered Octopath Traveler look.
If they remake Dragon Warrior 1 and they do it with like the full, if they do it with the Octopath Traveler style, I would consider playing it. Truly.
Just because it's a one hero game and you don't have to worry about grabbing a party, or
because the stakes are so simple. Go save the princess and defeat the dragon. That's what I like. I like that in my stories because that gives you a world to explore where you can find stuff that's unique and interesting and a mystery. Simple goals, like simple ideals, and basically demanding your engagement with the world to quest and fight. I like that.
That's fair.
Or if they do it full, Final Fantasy VII Remake style, where it's like, got the cool combat system, I want that too.
Well, do I have a game for you? Dragon Warrior, or Quest, as it's now just being referenced as, 1, 2, and 3 as a combo pack was released on the Switch. Not a remake.
But the pixel graphics are bad. I don't like it.
Well, yeah, that's fair. So, Grandia, play that one just for honestly, I think you would enjoy it. I know you don't like the time in the game. Just, if you play through the first dungeon or two...
Does it have an easy mode, like a story difficulty?
Yeah, no, it wasn't hard back then. It was just literally, hey, this is it. Enjoy.
Grind and bash monsters. Got it.
You don't even really have to grind. That's the beauty of it. It wasn't.
Word.
Yeah. For back then.
Say word.
Yeah. So for back then, that was awesome. So trucking right along. So number 8 needs a little bit of an introduction because John checked me with the knowledge on this game. So I was talking about Squaresoft RPGs, and I said The Legend of Dragoon, which obviously is not a Squaresoft RPG. It's a what, John?
It's a Sony Computer Entertainment RPG.
And I had a brain fart when I said that. I literally knew that, but I was super high on Square Enix at the time. Go figure. So
you're snorting them crystals.
The Legend of Dragoon. Yeah, I know, right? The Legend of Dragoon makes it in at number 8 for me in my top 10.
I remember it was a late period game for the PlayStation. A lot of people might have slept on it, but from what I recall, it was popular enough to have that cult following. So why don't you tell us all about why that one makes the 8th spot?
So with the combat system in The Legend of Dragoon, you had to interact with it. Like if you messed up and you didn't time the attack perfectly, it just ended. You had one hit. Or for like the super agile character, 9 hits if you're timing it properly, and it's really cool. And it gets kind of fast paced, so it'll be like, it's not just like hit, it's like hit.
So it's a rhythm game, like I said.
Essentially.
Okay.
And it's a very linear game. It is a point A to point B game. Not much world exploration, not much backtracking. It's, here's my story. You're going through the story. You're going to pick up some other people along the way. And you're going to fight the big bad, and that's it. So it keeps it straight to the point. And I think a lot of people slept on it because with it being so late, you just had a library of games ahead of it.
Yeah, when the heavy hitters like the Final Fantasy franchise were out, even with its tactics variant and stuff like that, whereas like the Grandia franchise, you mentioned before, the Dragon Quest ones, because I think even Dragon Warrior games were getting re-released on PlayStation, right?
No. So what you're thinking of is actually like the Final Fantasy anthologies, Origins, and Chronicles, where Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy V, and then Final Fantasy 1 and 2 got re-released. So
yeah, and even if you had like a wider palette of games, like I mean, with like Metal Gear Solid and all the platformers that were dope on PlayStation,
there was just so much insanity.
PlayStation was a great system.
It was.
I joke a lot, but like PlayStation truly has a library of amazing games.
It was simpler times, right?
Yep. And while we got some bangers on Saturn and N64, like PlayStation just stole the show.
Panzer Dragoon, baby!
Freaking Guardian Heroes, baby!
Mega Man 65.
Mega Man Legends, boy. With Tron, the cutie. Yeah.
Hey, she got her own spinoff.
Yeah, she did, and I love that game.
And that game is ballsy, crazy, non-stop, bonkersly expensive.
I have it.
Nice.
It's disc only, and it has like the rental Hollywood video sticker on the label, but I don't care. I love that game.
That game was awesome. So, play Legend of Dragoon, a wonderful story. Like, it is a story that spans literally 10,000 years.
What's also funny is I hear you struggling against, like, how do I tell you the amazing things about the story without spoiling elements to it?
I'm trying to be as brief as possible because I want everyone who's listening to this, like, I could spoil all of these games for you. I could break it all down.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Yeah, exactly. And you would miss out on the fun. And I think the biggest enjoyment of a game is to go in a little bit blind and just experience it for yourself. Mm-hmm. Like playing Far Cry 6 kind of blind. How did you feel with that, John? Like,
well, I played Far Cry games before, so having the 6th installment of a franchise is kind of, you get, what you're going to get. But like when I played Far Cry 3 for the first time, that was an event. That was a major experience. Like just basically having the more competent character get killed by the big bad guy, and the big bad guy basically, psychologically torturing you with like, I'll get you eventually, man. See ya. And then you go through the struggles as Jason, who becomes like, a frickin' tiger hunting warrior man, I like how that's how I choose to describe him.
Tiger hunter warrior man.
But like with a name like Jason Brody, come on.
It's
dork.
It's really, I don't want to say it's really bad, but because, we do look at reviews. I don't want to be the one that deprives you of the joy of this game. So it's The Legend of Dragoon, play it. 100%.
Play it.
Ayo, that's our quote.
I stole that from another thing too.
So,
well, who else says play it? Everyone says play it.
Exactly. We're not changing the wheel or anything on that one, but hey.
I like how changing the wheel, we reinvented how we say reinventing the wheel. We didn't change the wheel on that one. We didn't change the tire.
So, moving right along, John, what's our next entry?
So number 7, and this is another one I don't really have a lot of experience with. This is Legend of Legaia.
Legend of Legaia. So it's another one of those games where you actually have to input combos for the combat system.
So it's a fighting game.
If you played the combat, it literally feels like a fighting game. And for you, John, that would immerse you completely because I know you'd be like, no.
I'd be trying to do Hadoukens,
combo. Yeah. And it's so rewarding. The story takes place, and your world is enshrouded in mist, and the heroes are basically freeing the world of mist, going against the big bad.
That terrible puzzle game from 1995.
Oh, God. Point and click. Awful.
How dare you make esoteric puzzles and pre-rendered graphics?
So, the reason why Legend of Legaia made it to this list is I can't think of a game on the PlayStation 1 that had a more unique experience for me. Because its combat system, it's not really revolutionary.
And this is the console that had Wild Arms, which was a JRPG with cowboys.
Yep. And you can play that one on your PlayStation Classic.
And this is the one console that was going to have the game Shadow Hearts, which is the same thing, and Al Capone cries.
You want to know a real cool story? Koudelka is actually we'll say, console predecessor, air quotes here, of the Shadow Hearts franchise. Shadow House.
So what Silent Hill's working title was. Spooky House.
Oh, look, the Spooky House.
That's where the Pyramid Head man who rapes the legs is.
That was actually a pretty good movie adaptation of that. It was really like, oh yeah, it was horrible. Like, and like, oh God, I can't believe this is happening. But if you think about it, well, it wasn't that bad.
I can't say.
Did you never watch it?
No, I know what scene a lot of people are thinking about since we're talking about it, but I don't want to think about that.
Happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts, please.
So, Legend of Legaia, just for...
Those are my happy thoughts. You are a sick man.
Oh, no.
Said Eli Roth.
I'm going to save him a little bit. We're going to reel it away.
Oh, I got to save my brain.
So, Legend of Legaia, you have to play that game just for... So, the story's not going to win at any awards, but...
But it is higher above on the list than other games.
It is. Like, the combat system and the actual engagement of a world in a PlayStation 1 game, it was kind of hard to do with the limitations of the console. So like even your bigger tier RPGs like your Final Fantasy 7s, 8 and 9s, you didn't really engage with the world too much as just kind of the story. Like yeah, the world was there, but if you remember playing Final Fantasy 8 back in the day, like dear God, looking at that game made your face want to melt. Yes, it's a product of the time. We can't fault it that way. But...
I mean, you could say the same thing with the freaking like chibi models of Final Fantasy VII and Cloud's cone ass. You know what I mean?
I mean, absolutely. So to actually be fully immersed into a world for a PlayStation 1 JRPG, no less, speaks volumes of it. It's not that expensive, comparatively speaking, to some other like heavy hitting RPGs on the PlayStation 1. So if you collect retro, or you have a backwards compatible PlayStation 3, or hell, you even own a PlayStation 2, pick it up and give it a shot. You'll really enjoy it.
All right.
And so this one
I can talk about.
So this I included this here, and I know this may ruffle some feathers, but for me,
good.
Number 6 is Mega Man Legends.
Hell yes.
And I don't care what anybody says. You technically have leveling up. You have enhancing your equipment. You have increasing your health. You have building a world.
You've got crafting. You've got quests. You've got dialogue and an actual story you can follow. You even have, as the term that we've used this entire time, which I have infected you with, player agency, where you can steal the bag of money that you steal from the pirates. You could give it back and be like, hey, I'm a good boy. But no, I'm going to be Mega Man. I'm going to be bad boy. Put my shades down and steal this money.
It was such an enjoyable experience.
The closest thing to a Legend of Zelda we would get on a PlayStation.
Exactly.
I'll say it.
So Mega Man Legends, so it's ahead of all those other games. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, even though I had beaten the game, I didn't want to really let it go. Like, I still enjoyed exploring. I wanted to craft the final weapon. Like, I wanted to do everything I could. I think I sunk almost 250 hours into the game just because I didn't want to let it go. It was so enjoyable for me, and that game was literally the primary game I played over a summer vacation.
Dude, how freaked out were you when you went into that one dungeon and then like a giant reaver bot who just goes down the hallway, and you're just like, you hear that noise, you're like, what's that? And you turn the corner and bam, he's turning to just like rev up and kill you. It's like, ah!
It was wild. We even got voice acting, remember?
Yeah, we did. And Roll was the best assist character, because you go down into a dungeon and you're sweating your ass off getting refractors and doing all this stuff and treasure hunting, and you're beat to hell, and you're going up to the elevator. It's like, hey, Mega Man, I made you an apricot pie. Come on up, I'll give you a slice. I'm like, she made me pie.
All right, time to go. Bye, Reavers.
Time to go, robots. I'm going to go eat some pie.
So it is a game that we honestly spoke quite a bit about in our Mega Man episode, so it doesn't need much more than the John and James certified play it.
Yeah, play it.
It's still not that expensive, all things considered, for retro, so you can pick it up if you're not a fan of
Mega Man Legends 2, however.
That one will hurt you, or The Adventures of Tron Bonne will really hurt you. $500 game for a PlayStation 1 says, what?
Dude, I just feel terrible because I was like that dumb kid in like the GameStop when the PlayStation 2 was out. It's like, we can't even give away these PlayStation 1 games. I saw like Tamba and Tron Bonne mint in box. I'm like, what, for $5? I'm not made of money.
Should have taken them.
Yeah, I should have. That's what I'm saying. That's the story.
So it's play that one. If out of all of these games, that one is going to immerse you so much just because it's such a well-built, well-polished game, and they took care of every avenue that could have potentially gotten wrong, from combat to narration to world experience to the events itself, the cutscenes. They made it a very seamless, harmonious, damn near perfect game.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that the critiques would probably be, it doesn't feel like a Mega Man game. It's like, well, no, it doesn't, but at the same time, you're still blue and you're shooting.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It may not feel like a Mega Man game, but you sure as hell are welcome in my JRPGs, Mega Man.
Thanks. Let me put my helmet on that I have to go find. Which is like, Mega Man's got hair? Anyway.
Oh my god, he's got the anime hair.
He's got great anime hair.
Fair. So, trugging right along.
Trugging right along. Trugging's like when you got some chaw in your mouth and you're like, I'm trugging right along, baby.
Spit in my cup.
Yep.
So this one actually came to us from Working Designs back when they were really busy, really busy bringing us some of the heavy hitters. So they
Like
brought
everything.
us, yeah, right. So number 5 is actually the Arc the Lad collection.
This is another one I always saw in the store, but I never really fully got.
It was actually 3 games in one. Technically 4 if you think about it, because it had the arena battler. But it was a grid-based strategy RPG with a very long, continuous story. The first one, right up your alley. You could beat the first game 6 hours tops if you didn't want to get everything. If you wanted to get the secret character, 7.
Arc the Chad, and he's a Giga Chad.
Oh, I am Giga Chad. I am the law.
Just see him with his chin and his swole ass muscles.
So, strategy RPGs are very near and dear to my heart, as you all know. The Disgaea franchise is my favorite franchise.
You are literally wearing a t-shirt.
Amen, brother. And the story it's one of those few stories in game that continues from game to game in a very seamless transition. And the combat is engaging. The fact that you can capture monsters, tame them, have them on your team, beyond engaging. The story itself, with everything that you're trying to do, it's essentially light stopping darkness. Boil it down. As simple as possible.
Boy, oh boy. I'm here to kill chaos.
Easy there, Shadow.
Easy there, Jack. Games with Jack and James.
I'm Jack Brody.
If that's his last name, I swear to God.
I'm just...
My name is Jack Giga Chad.
So you... oh my God. Between all of them and the arena battler, you have effectively 400 plus hours of gameplay. That's insane to think it all.
It's a major step up from the first game, which you said I could beat in 6 hours.
Yep. Oh no, Arc the Lad 2 just dives hard in length.
The other 394, you better bring a goddamn helmet.
Yep. So the story is the biggest selling point of this game, because the story gets you vested, like a Final Fantasy VII, like a Chrono Trigger,
in medias res, yeah.
It gets you so invested that you want to see it through. The combat is super engaging. It's not complex combat, and the 2D sprites. It's very hard. The animation is on point. Just everything you can do in the game, it's so beyond immersive. And if you want to take a break, you have Arc the Lad, the arena game, where you can take your monsters and or characters from the game and then put them in an arena and fight through the arena to get access to better equipment to bring back to the game.
So it's Chocobo Racing. So it's Monster Rancher. So it's Pokemon.
It was Pokemon before Pokemon.
It's dogfighting, aka Pokemon.
If we're talking the most value for your dollar and the most replayability / playability, Arc the Lad at the collection gives it to you more so than any other game on the PlayStation 1
library. Arc the Lad gives it to you. I want there to be a tag on the box.
Arc gonna give it to you.
Oh!
So, man, we are. So that was our actual number 5 entry, ladies and gentlemen. So we're kind of cruising along. The next one, John,
we're one away from the top 3.
I know, right? Man, we
it's
actually made
4th.
Hey, we made it through a list in a decent time.
Hey, how about that? It's almost as if I have nothing to say about most of these games.
Hey, you're actually, come on now.
I gotta razz you a little bit. I'm letting you have this episode.
Hey. To be fair, so ladies and gentlemen, like we talked about what we were going to talk about. It was another topic or this, and
we talk a lot more than outside this podcast. It's like, we don't just like close up shop and just leave.
Thanks. See you. Bye.
That was a good episode. All right, see you. See you.
So this episode has been pretty cool, but we also spoke into existence prior to.
I'm calling it. This is a pretty cool episode.
I know, right? Look, even John's enjoying it. He got to speak about his love for one potential current JRPG, if he gets it. He liked the demo.
I like the demo, and I mean, like PS5 games are like $70.
So, yeah, that's right.
Do you want to have money forever? Who cares? Just buy it.
Save up those points, man.
I do, actually. I have plenty of GameStop points.
So use them for money off.
All right.
There you go. But this is...
Shadow Warrior 3. Okay.
Because of this, we're also speaking into existence something near and dear to John's heart, which I think is going to maybe give him an aneurysm having to narrow this down. The top 10 Sonic games.
Wow, I like how we're previewing the next episode before we even finish this one. Also, yeah, between the beta alanine and that, trying to think of narrowing it down to just 10 games, I'm like, power failure. I went too fast.
So we'll come back into this episode. John, what is number 4 on the top 10 list?
Well, see, I like how you're giving me these introductions because I would just give them no fanfare whatsoever.
I know.
Number 4 is Final Fantasy VII, y'all. Only on number 4. Explain yourself.
So he's doing that because, as you know, in prior episodes, I literally talked nothing but praise about this game. Even in episode 1, at the dawn of time.
Let's take you back to the original dawn of time.
I tried to make a case for that game should have been a higher placing, and Breath of the Wild shouldn't have beaten it. All back on the IGN episode.
That's right. Dang.
I know, man, we're dating ourselves here. 6 months in the making. Yeah.
October was a crazy time. You said to me, hey, want to record us talking about podcast, video game stuff? And I'm like, all right.
And here we are.
We were more animal than man.
It was the dawn of time.
Yeah, I was more liquor than man.
So Final Fantasy VII, it made my top 5. It was so that was the game. That was actually my very first JRPG I got to play on the PlayStation 1. I was a latecomer to it because I was living in Turkey at the time, and my family was like, "Hey, you have a Super Nintendo. You have a regular Nintendo. Just keep playing this. There's still games we can grab for you at the exchange." And it took me getting straight A's for the whole year. And this is in 98 in order for me to get the PlayStation 1. So Final Fantasy VII had been out for a little bit. Other games had already been out. Like, there's a lot of games that had taken off. And I remember playing that, and I couldn't put it down. It was...
So it was your first taste?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It was my first PlayStation 1 taste.
All right. This is how addiction starts, ladies and gentlemen.
Final Fantasy VII. It was my start.
Free basing experience points.
It's the end-all be-all.
Yeah, just, fiending for it.
Exactly. So, needs no introduction. I'm pretty sure all of you are familiar with the story. It's Cloud. It's everyone. It's Tifa, Red 13, all of them fighting Sephiroth.
Italian Senator Tifa Lockhart.
Oh. It's, so the combat's really cool. The materia system's fun. It revolutionized cutscenes like nobody's business. I mean, dear God, Knights of the Round sitting there for what, like a minute and a half for a summon?
Sephiroth's finishing move, the freaking laser going through Jupiter.
Oh, Supernova, that was... I'm not gonna lie, I let my party almost die just so I could see that animation the very first time. Didn't you?
I mean, I remember seeing it over and over again, so I'm just like, oh my God. Skip.
Enough.
Skip. We know you're strong. Omni/, bye.
So it's a game in the original one. You can play the remake as well, so don't expect it to be...
Don't play the remake.
John's dumb. He didn't like the remake. I like the remake. At least you have a PlayStation 5. Try Intergrade where you get to play as Yuffie. I think you would like it. A completely different telling, and Yuffie's just a badass.
I thought Yuffie, the entire thing about Yuffie was that she's like a goof and not that strong.
Kind of. No, she was an agent because the Wutai region was at war with the Midgard region, and it was the Materia War. Midgard was winning, and you actually get to explore that. You want to actually
let me get immersed back into Final Fantasy VII stuff again? Let me play Crisis Core. Someone re-released that. I'll play that.
That was a good one. That was a really good one.
You get to play as Zack, and I probably like Zack way more than any other Final Fantasy VII character.
I don't know. Jack is coming up there. He's not Final Fantasy VII, but I'm saying Final Fantasy character as a whole.
Jack and Zack. Games with Jack and Zack. That's going to be our new podcast where we RP as Jack and Zack.
We're just superimposed on images.
Yeah. It's just going to be Zack smiling at his Kingdom Hearts model next to like the Stranger of Paradise key art with blood all over his face. It's going to be like The Odd Couple, but even more insufferable.
So
I can't believe Zach has to go on a date with Chaos and Aerith at the same time at the same restaurant.
No!
And Jack has to pretend to be the waiter.
Jack just rips the table in half.
We need some more bread. You need to shut the hell up. And he turns the table into crystals and breaks it. I hit my phone. Damn it.
Oh, man. So it needs no introduction, needs no explanation. It is one of those RPGs, if you are a fan of JRPGs, RPGs in general, you need to play that because it was kind of the jumping off point for a lot of the games that we know and love, because it was a make or break, not only for the PlayStation, but for Squaresoft itself, because they, at the time, it was the most expensive game ever created.
It's on 3 discs.
So give it a shot. It's there just...
What's your excuse? I'm sure it's a tentpole for a reason, y'all.
Heck, it was remade on the Switch. You can get it there. And you can...
It was ported to the Switch.
Yeah, it was ported to the Switch. You can fast forward through combat. It has all the quality of life things that you might want. So play it in speed mode.
Do it like I played Dirge of Cerberus. You know what? Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus. Let me play those games again. I just skipped all the cutscenes so I could just shoot that guy. Got it.
So we're actually in the top 3 now. So... my number 3 game in this top 10 list, Xenogears.
What some would call the Evangelion of JRPGs for the PlayStation.
Did you ever get to experience Xenogears back in the day, John?
I tried a long time ago, and I remember being sold with the giant robot on the front, but then when the village is burning in the first part of the game, and I'm just like, I don't want to play this.
It's like, you lied to me, cover art.
Yeah, it's the same thing with freaking Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's like, 80 hours to get your giant robot. No thanks. Click.
Bye!
Yeah, and a freaking 50 level dinosaur in the level 4 area. Yeah, thanks game. Bye.
See ya! Yeah, they do that in all of them, and it's kind of annoying, right?
Yeah, I hate it. And yet Xeno fans get all the stuff that they want. They even have Xenoblade Chronicles 3 coming out, and I'm like, come on, man. At least the character designs in that game don't embarrass me.
I mean, that's fair. So Xenogears was, pound for pound, probably the best JRPG ever released, with the exception of its critical flaw: Disc 2 was not complete. It was you as the main character kind of walking on black, going through the dialogue scenes, going from fight to fight, because the team...
So it was the end of Evangelion.
I hate you. So the team got pulled in multiple directions. They ran out of funding. If that disc had been fully complete, it would be the top one of anybody's list, because engaging story, combat was fun, giant robots. Who doesn't love giant robots?
Everyone loves giant robots.
The story itself was so compelling in a PlayStation 1 RPG, because that console was RPG dominated, comparatively speaking, to anything else.
The PS2, I think, more so.
Oh, absolutely. And then, other games started to make, Rise, JRPGs kind of fell, and now JRPGs are kind of anime boobs and furry stuff.
And that's what made them get back up here.
Hey-oh, John, he's definitely up there, if you know what I mean.
Dang it, I look down and I have a boner. I just thought about that ice rabbit from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I'm like, yeah!
Oh, no. So, Xenogears, it's like Final Fantasy VII. It's one of those RPGs you have to experience. You have to play that one. And I say that because storytelling, it's kind of an afterthought in quite a few games, because Final Fantasy VII, if you look at it, it is literally spectacle, the game, plus a story for back what it was, right?
Well, yeah, because that's what they wanted to deliver on. So.
Exactly. And then a lot of games tried to follow that. And then so Xenogears comes out and has a perfectly, harmoniously amazing story that just gets you so vested. There's character growth, there's arcs, there's true development and true narrative happening, along with seamless combat and just smooth transitions, nothing that's stilted or jolted. Like I said, it's a perfect game.
Stilted and jilted is a good turn of phrase. I like that.
Hey, that's going to be hey, look, now you're going to be quoting that one.
Yep.
I'm not stilted or jilted. I'm just Johned.
I'm still clever. I can still turn a phrase or two.
So it's play that one for just... It is the best RPG of all time, minus.
But it's only 3 on this list.
If Disc 2 was complete, it would have been number 1.
All right, fair enough.
If Disc 2 was complete, I would have that ahead of Chrono Trigger as my favorite RPG of all time.
Them's fighting words. Holy crap.
What am I going to fight myself? Enter James, let's go!
No, you're going to frickin' Zelda 2 shadow box yourself. You're going to stand in the corner and stab your legs until you die.
Oh my god, the ending of that game was just such bullshit.
What, Zelda 2?
Oh, so I love Zelda too, but like fighting yourself, it was so, like, that fight was hard.
Yeah,
like,
but you can
hard.
cheese it. So.
You can cheese it, but if you didn't know the cheese and you're 8-year-old James, you got punished.
You didn't get to kiss a Zelda, did you?
Nope. I never actually beat Zelda 2. I kept dying at that guy, and I was like, you know what? Cool, I'm out. I took the game out and put in Jurassic Park for the regular Nintendo and played that.
Wow, that is a step down. That is a major step down.
8-year-old me was having fun killing dinos.
Hell yeah. Killing dinosaurs is always fun.
Exoprimal, we're looking at you.
Yeah, the dinosaur forecast.
Oh, calls beautiful. For a chance of T-Rex with a side of raptor.
And the wind is going to be blowing in lots of parasaurolophuses.
Dinosaur.
You know, the ones that have chicken wings. And they're not doing the chicken dinosaurs, thank God.
Yeah, that'd be weird. So I could talk about Xenogears. I could go into the nuances.
You have been. So.
Well, I haven't deep dove like I could. So I'm going to truck right along. This next game was actually released for John's Transformer system of a console initially before it came to PlayStation 1 through Working Designs. John, what's this game?
Sewer Shark. Night Trap. Vampires with the crane neck thing that trains the women. Anyway, no, do you really want me to introduce this one? This one is one that I've actually played as well, so I can speak to it a little bit. Lunar.
So the reason why I wanted you to introduce this one, your girlfriend, this was actually one of her favorite games.
It is, yes.
So what about Lunar do you remember, and what... Honestly, if you were to like include it in a list, I feel like this would be kind of high for you as well because of just what you could do in that game.
Well, I played through like some of the opening. I didn't really have a long attention span even later when I actually tried to play some of these games, but I loved the style. I loved the anime cutscenes because, you know, anime was a big formative thing for me. The songs even, those were cute. And what was interesting was that the mechanics of actually fighting in that game worked off of like a multiplication type of system, so you could never really be over-leveled to beat a boss. I always thought that was pretty cool. And the dragon crystals that are formed from his poop, that's just funny.
That bit of comedy was hilarious. And then in the direct translation, so if you remember, I was playing it on the PSP over Christmas. So
Silver Star Story Complete.
Mm-hmm. So it's a Silver Star Harmony on the PSP. So it's literally just Lunar 1 complete on your PSP, and there's actually a bit in the game where your little friend, the weird little dragon thing, he's like, oh man, those titties, and it's like, wait, what? Yeah, see that.
I freaking skipped out on this the whole time.
They went really funny with this translation, and I'm all for it.
Well, like Disgaea 2 had a moment where like that thing is clasped to that dude's chest. It's like, I love boobies.
Yeah, they did. So it's another one of those games that it's a sense of exploration, because essentially once you get through the opening act, you have a little bit of a scene where the one girl, she's like, I'm not going to come with you. I'm just going to go back home. And the main character, there's voice acting. The main character convinces her, he's like, no, we said we'd stay together. We're going on an adventure, because he wants to be the next hero. Mm-hmm. And technically, yeah, like a lot of JRPGs kind of do that, but they don't do it in that kind of scale. Like Lunar's story was so seamless. Combat was super fun and engaging. And that multiplication system, like enemies leveled with you.
Yeah. What's funny, too, as we're talking about this, I probably actually played Star Ocean more than I played Lunar when I think about it.
The second story?
Yes.
That was a good one, too. That was a very good one. Didn't quite make my top 10.
I mean, we still don't know what number 1 is.
So, honestly, ladies...
Vagrant story.
Another good game.
But not on the list.
Nope, not on the list. That'd probably be, if I had to do a top 25, it'd be like 20.
Dang.
Yeah, there's so many better ones.
I know, but like that one is like cult of cult classics. I thought you'd be all high on that supply.
I'm not always cult classics. What do you just like? Am I walking around in like a black robe, like join this JRPG cult?
I picture you like the dude in grade school, like playing Monster Rancher while everyone's playing Pokemon. It's like, it's better!
Oh no, I played the hell out of Pokemon. I also got in trouble because I stole Pokemon cards at one point, and the person that detained me, because this is on a military installation, ended up, when we moved, he moved as well and became my family's best friend at the next duty station. So whenever we were hanging out for get-togethers, I got to see the guy that detained me because I was an idiot.
Military brat lifestyle, y'all.
Actually, really good guy, but man, I hated him for the first 3 months we were hanging out. I was just like,
What's this narc doing here?
You got me.
Yeah. I mean, who really wants to be friends with a cop?
So, I played Pokemon.
But, local law enforcement.
So this next game, it was actually the game that I picked up and began playing after Final Fantasy VII. And I know this could stir the pot a little bit for some people because you don't typically see this at a number 1, but this is my damn top 10. And I am expressing my love and joy with a little bit of agreement from John where he's just like, okay.
Yeah, go for it, man. Sing it from the highest mountain.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
I'm going to kill you. I have no horse in this race, but I'm still pissed off for some reason.
You actually played this one.
No, I didn't.
Ever?
No.
Oh, cool. I know what I'm going to get you for...
Please don't.
Your birthday.
Don't. I don't have a thing to play it on.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You have a PlayStation 2.
Not...
Oh, I know what you have more than you.
I know I do, but what I'm saying is like, don't hold me to that.
Oh, I don't expect you to play more than an hour.
Well, then why? It's expensive, isn't it?
Oh, no, this one's only like $30.
All right. No.
Comparatively speaking to Arc the Lad collection, which if you had new, like I did before it left my collection,
dude,
$260.
All right, I'm actually gonna just sing some praises to my buddy James here. He's a very sentimental gift giver, and he got me for Christmas the original 4 Sonic collection on the Genesis, the cartridges. So now I got to find myself a Genesis to play them on because, dang it, I want to play them on the carts. Also, he got me a signed copy of Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric for the Wii U, and I don't remember the exact name, but I knew it was someone who worked on the game who signed it.
The only copy in existence, I'm pretty sure.
I swear to God, if I look at that thing again and it's actually Bob Rafi, I'm like, oh my God.
So we know each other very well. So when it comes to gift giving and things like that, we get each other. We're pretty solid.
Yeah, I tried to surprise you a few times, but then I would go through an airport and then things would just get ganked off me. That was a fun story.
Well, I mean, it is Portland. What do you expect?
I think I was in my connecting flight in Utah at that point.
It's Utah.
Mormons steal. We know this.
No, they're just like, you can't have this. It's bad. Read the book.
Oh, God. Put on your underwear.
Here's your pencil black tie. Go.
Anyway,
man.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
So Final Fantasy Tactics, it's a strategy RPG. It's kind of the godfather / big daddy, big kid on the block of strategy RPGs. It has never been replicated. It's
never replicated, never duplicated.
Exactly. But a lot of it helped catapult that style of gameplay to our Disgaias, to our Arc the Lads, and you name it. It was such an amazing game. Enemies leveled as you leveled. So if you're level 99, you're just trash mobs you're fighting are also going to be level 99. The story itself, I mean, political drama, obviously, it's a dark story. Once you play through technically the prologue and you're getting so vested, you don't, your first playthrough, you don't know it's the prologue. You're playing through and it's like, holy hell, what? Mm-hmm. And then it just ends and you actually get to go to your current times and it's like, man, I need a cigarette. What did I just go through?
I like how you've used that term now because I've used that before. Whenever you get a hardcore gaming experience, you're just like, I need a cigarette.
The job system in this game was so amazing and so immersive. You could play this game in any way you wanted, bar none. You could get Cloud in this game.
You could.
Yeah. So you had to go through a side quest, get some items, talk to people back and forth in the towns, but you could legitimately recruit Cloud.
Well, he is a mercenary. It's like how in Valkyria Chronicles you can get the Skies of Arcadia crew in there.
Yep.
I need to finish that game.
That was a good game.
I love that game, and I think it's really funny to see a World War II-esque imperialistic army through the lens of the Japanese.
So, yep. And if you, even that game is technically a strategy RPG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Final Fantasy Tactics, it was the love child of Final Fantasy. So the PlayStation 1 was honestly the big, mega Final Fantasy is everywhere. They remade all the old ones. It was our first taste of Final Fantasy 5. We had 7, we had 8, we had 9. It was literally, this franchise is going to get bigger, bolder, and better with each iteration, and you will suck on these games as we just force them down your throat.
You choke on it. You know you love it.
And then Final Fantasy Tactics comes out, and even though it was...
And then Air Guys comes out, and you're like, okay, I think we're done.
Yeah. Oh. So even though it was a Final Fantasy game, they actually brought in, the original mind behind Tactics Ogre. So that franchise kind of tied his hands. They took away his creative freedom. They took away what he could do with the franchise.
He got the window seat, yeah.
Because it was, hey, let's cookie cutter release, and he didn't want to do that. So Squaresoft approached him. They're like, hey, this is something we want to do. How can we draw people? Oh, Final Fantasy. But how can we keep you engaged and valued as a developer and producer? Tactics. So Final Fantasy Tactics is a marriage, and honestly, in my opinion, the evolution of the Tactics Ogres games into this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a rewarding game. I have gone back and I have played this game through to completion, max level my characters, and my main character has mastered every single job on every single playthrough 13 times. And when I tell you how many hours it takes to do that...
It's comfort food. You know what I mean? You can never get tired of comfort food.
Each playthrough was about 300 hours for me. Times that by 13.
So 300 times 10 already. God.
Yep.
Okay. Let no one say you're not committed. You commit to the bit.
Damn right.
Damn Yankees.
So
honestly, I just like saying that.
That's going to be like your new quote, I feel.
Yep.
So honestly, this has been my top 10 list, and this has been something that I've been holding, close to my heart because I want to share this with you guys. And if you don't play any game, with the exception of one from this list, please play Final Fantasy Tactics. If you have never played a strategy RPG, it's the best one ever made. If that's your genre, it's the best one ever made.
Wow.
The story itself is so engaging.
And it's got Cloud in it.
And it's got Cloud, So that's beyond a play it. That's a you damn well better play it.
That's a finna-peat it. That's a complete it.
Exactly. And then tell me about it.
Yeah. Just freaking... and then leave a comment if you completed this game. I need a cigarette.
So, honestly, guys, ladies and gentlemen, that's been the top 10 PlayStation 1 JRPGs according to James, with some support from John here.
Mm-hmm.
Moral support, kind of like what's going to happen once we do the Sonic episode.
I was holding your hand as you breathed through it, just breathe.
Honestly, when it comes to Sonic games, I've played 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic Heroes.
You haven't played CD, bro?
No.
Poser.
I didn't own a Sega CD. You couldn't get it. So literally what ended up happening, when we moved to Turkey,
mm-hmm.
when we were living overseas, you could get Super Nintendos or the original Sega, the Sega system, but you couldn't get any type of add-on. So no Super Scope, no Mario Paint mouse, none of that whatsoever, because to get those over there, it was just an asininely ridiculous cost. So they barely had PlayStation 1s in and Nintendo 64s in.
I feel bad for the kid who got the Sega Saturn and then went to the BX and only saw 2 Sega Saturn games.
They had 1.
What?
What's
Astal.
What's the floating ninja creature thingy?
What?
On the box, it looks like it's floating in a purple suit with the jester's hat.
Oh, Pandemonium?
Not Pandemonium.
That's a platformer. That's the one with the jester. The Crystal Dynamics one?
It might be, yeah. That one.
That's the one game you get. Wow.
You know what? I'm going to make sure this is accurate because if not, oof.
Well, that was because Pandemonium I think was also on PlayStation, so it was a multi-platform game.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I remember seeing ads for it. It was the way like Mega Man X4 was on Saturn and on PlayStation. So
No, it was the Knights game.
oh, Knights. Oh my God, Giselle is gonna yell at me because I didn't remember Knights.
Yeah, Knights. It was Knights into Dreams.
Okay, what? I like how my mind went to Pandemonium first. What the hell? I have to revoke my own Sega card.
Sega.
Don't do that; it'll freak out my girlfriend.
Sega.
It's even worse. I have to revoke my Sega gamer card. Cut there. There we go.
So honestly, let me know what you think. Let me know if there's some hot button like what the hell? Did this make the list and this didn't?
If you vehemently disagree, do not go to the Twitter because I'm there mostly.
Do go to the Twitter. Make him actually look things up. He's gonna be like that meme with the guy sweating on his forehead. Like, oh no,
I'm gonna be Jordan Peele.
Oh man,
sweating.
So, no, this has been a wild ride, and honestly, thank you, John, for allowing me to finally bring this out into the world. You were a good sport over there, just taking the JRPG punches as they came.
I mean, outside of the kayfabe world of this podcast, like, games are celebrated, and I love everybody who's passionate about video games, man. So, live your truth.
Speaking of kayfabe, WrestleMania is around the corner.
Damn.
We should watch it.
So if you get the pay-per-view, I'll come over.
I think I have the Peacock Network, so we can just watch it.
Word! Even better.
Yep. Hey-oh, pay for Peacock!
I say Royal Rumble happened already, right?
Yes.
Dang it. All right.
That one's always a fun watch. And it's now both a men's and women's Royal Rumble, which is super cool.
Friggin' A. All right. Well, so we'll see you on Aubrey Sitterson's podcast, Straight Shoot, after we watch WrestleMania.
So,
let's speak that into existence.
That would be really cool, but I have a feeling you would just be kind of just like a deer out. I feel like Attitude Era wrestling, but I feel like anything else, you're just going to be like a deer in freaking headlights unless it's John Cena and that stupid ruthless aggression.
I watched some modern wrestling for a little bit when Kane was doing his split personality thing, and I was like, this is weird. I know Daniel Bryan, and the reason why he was like, they kind of kept him out of the ring was because of concussions. No.
He's not even in WWE anymore. Now he's wrestling for AEW under the name of Bryan Danielson.
Well, AEW, okay, now we're just talking about it. Well, AEW has that whole thing where like you can have people outside of like the network come in, like their surprise matches and stuff. So that's what draws a lot of people to AEW.
That and it's no holds barred. Like at one point, literally tacks were shoved into a girl's mouth, and then she was smashed onto the apron. Like I'm telling you, like it's like old hardcore ECW.
So I was gonna say it's ECF and W. So Sandman's gonna show up and bash himself with a fluorescent light bulb and be like, "I don't need that shiz."
So as always, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Games with John and James. Also on YouTube now, where we are uploading our current episodes on Fridays, and all of season 1 is actually now available. So make sure you check us out there. John has actually been doing a pretty badass job.
John has been doing a bad job keeping up with the episode.
He's been doing a badass job on Twitter. So follow him on Twitter, follow us there, and just have some fun with us over there. Like, let us know your thoughts, especially about this, because top 10 definitive lists, be it Sonic games for John, these RPGs for me, they're very contentious because we all have our own opinion. There are some universal ones, like Super Mario World is better than Super Mario 3.
Wow.
That's a universal opinion, and you even agree with me because you're the one that said it.
I agree with you, but also a lot of people will fight you on that.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. So anyway,
let's go. More fighting.
Anyway, usual wrap up. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter now. You can find us on Instagram. New episodes come out, all that kind of stuff. And one thing I will say also is about some wrestling talk. Pour one out for Scott Hall, y'all.
Oh man, that one hit me pretty deep. Like 3 heart attacks, like because of complications with that hip surgery, man.
It's a scary proposition, man. So just pour one out for the ultimate bad guy.
Yep. What was the saying he did?
Said bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Hey yo.
So pour one out, Razor Ramon, baby.
Yep. Shout out Scott Hall. Thank you all very much. This has been a pretty badass episode. I'm James.
And I'm John.
And this has been Games with John and James, the first of many
the only video game podcast.
I mean, the only one that's worth a damn.
Oh, throwing shade.
Not really, actually. So I'm also going to give a brief shout out. So there are other podcasts that have actually been following us on Instagram for quite some time,
and if you're not following us, what's wrong with you?
So there's actually a lot of camaraderie in this, in what we do. So thank you to you guys, other podcasters who have actually been following us and supporting us. We appreciate you as well. Have to give you one special shout out. You get one. Everybody gets one.
Shout out to Video Game Club. They actually reached out and they added us on Twitter when they saw our ranking on Good Pods. We're climbing up the ranks, man. We're in good company.
Let's go!
We jumped 13 spots. God dang, that was only 5 days ago.
Oh, on Good Pods?
Yeah.
I can't track the rankings.
Say, well, they're right there. This is an exclusive, y'all.
Oh.
So I'm gonna So Video Game Club, I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna at you and be like, hey, post your favorite episode of you guys ever done, and I'll give it a listen, see what it's all about.
So thank you all very much. This has been a very long-winded outro, but I'm gonna leave you with RPGs are the best, Sonic's the worst. Play them and say Sonic sucks.
Sonic sucks. No. Why would I ever say that? No.
Sonic Heroes.
And then he just gargles on.
What goes up must come down.
Including my wiener when it hits the ground.
Oh, God damn.
See, I can sexize any Sonic song. I can also sexize any Sonic, but, not today. This outro is running too long. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you next episode, okay?
Bye.
Bye-bye.